Yeah,
At
dude,
least you
I've been,
gotta show your face.
yeah, I just can't talk about everything that's in the Discord. That's all. That's not
No, of
even hating
course.
on
I
you,
can't
man.
either.
You know what I mean? The Discord, what's in the Discord stays in the Discord. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
don't
all I'm
talk
saying.
about the jobs. Let's just stay a little bit on topic. Don't talk about COVID or any of that bullshit because it's a sensitive fucking topic. I would have to remove you if you start rambling about it. But
About COVID?
yeah,
Wait,
they can't
COVID?
talk about it too much.
Oh, like you assuming I'm like a jabber? Like I get,
No,
I'm,
no, we don't gotta even say all that.
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, for
It's
the,
against YouTube guidelines, basically.
yeah,
But
I know we
we
won't. No,
can't
I
say
see
too
what you're
much.
saying.
But we
Yeah, no,
can
we
talk
won't.
about some stuff like Trump and Gavin Newsom, whatever you want to call him. I call him Newscum, but you can call him Newscum, whatever you like.
Yeah, dude, I'm not a Newsom fan though, man. I'm not.
No, I
You're
never
listen.
thought you were a Newsom fan, but
Yeah,
I
I'm
just
not
wanted
a
to
Newsom
educate
fan.
you on some of the shit that's going on. There's a lot of new information. Maybe you don't know about it. Maybe you do know about it.
Yeah. By the way, I don't even need to debate, man. I'm just
No, this isn't a debate.
yeah,
This is like a friendly conversation.
yeah, man. I'm yeah. So yeah, go ahead. Go. I'm listening, man. I've had a long day.
No, I've had a
I'm
long
listening.
day
I'm
too.
just I'm chilling. I'm chilling.
I'm
So
chilling
go ahead.
too. But yeah, I
Preach.
don't know. I know you said you didn't support Newsom or anything like that, but believe it or not, a lot of people do support him. They want him as president. I mean, I'd rather Biden. Literally, I'd rather Biden than Newsom as president. I'd rather
What don't
anyone
you
than.
like? What specifically don't you like about Gavin Newsom?
I mean, I have the articles right here. The best way I can explain it to you is probably via green screen. So let me pull up the articles. But
You're way more technologically inclined than
no,
I.
but literally, this guy. There's many articles. Spencer Pratt, he's basically like I believe he's a Hollywood reality star. He's not really that famous or anything, but
Yeah,
like
from
they
the
have
hills,
all these
from the
articles
hills.
about him.
Yeah,
Where did $100 million in LA relief money go? They had a concert.
yeah,
They raised $100 million, and I know they
yeah,
say, "Oh, this money is gonna go to victims." Some Democrats join my live stream and they say, "Oh, legally, the law is if you have like a fundraiser like this, only 10% of the money has to go to the charity." First off, I don't know if that is the law, but if that is the law, that's fucked up. Second off, they haven't even received $10 million; they've received zero. And third
yeah,
off, Gavin Newsom has his own nonprofit organization he just started, I believe, like a month or two ago, and he literally funded himself. He quoted himself in receiving some of this $100 million because I believe there was over 100 nonprofits that received some of this money. And also Samuel Jackson, he said, "Oh, donate to us online. This money will go directly to the LA fire victims, directly to everyone in California that needs the money now. That's a California resident that needs the money right now, right now." And none
yeah.
of them have received a
Wait,
dollar. They received
hold on.
FEMA money before they received any of this money from the state.
Can I ask a question in the chat? I'm seeing the chat. This is the first time I'm here. You got to remember, man. You're probably younger than me. I'm 35, so I'm not used to this. Chris, are you a liberal or a conservative?
Hi, is that true? Yes, this is true. Where did $100 in
Yeah.
LA relief money go?
So
Doesn't
I'm
matter if
probably
you're
a lot.
Democrat or Republican. This money went
Yeah,
missing.
no, I mean, look, man, if we're gonna talk about this, which we can do, like, I'm gonna,
Unrelated to Trump completely. This money has gone missing.
yeah, no, I mean, I'm gonna agree. Like, okay, I'll give
He's
you an
liberal.
example. Okay,
That's what he said.
yeah, I say that I'm liberal because my conservative positions are not like they're not
No, it's
important
okay to say
generally.
you're liberal, but it's different to say that you vote for Democrat. Like I said,
David,
voting for
yes,
Democrat goes a lot against your
David,
values.
yes, that's why I will always be. That's why I will always stand the side. But no, but like, let me. God, I got to be careful because I own a business and I got to be careful. I got to stay PC, okay, on YouTube.
Do you own
But
your own
here's what
law
I'll say:
firm or what business?
I own my own law firm. Yes, I do.
Okay, nice.
So, and I represent. I say I do housing, but I represent landlords. That's not as popular. But yeah, man, like that stuff happens all the time, dude. Like, and to be fair, like, and Newsom, the thing about Newsom is, you probably even agree with this. He's a very talented politician, right? So,
No.
like, when You don't think he's a talented politician? Because
I
he's
don't think
not.
he's a talented speaker. No, I don't think he's a
No,
talented
I don't mean
politician.
that
I
he
don't think
has
he's a talented
policies that are
speaker.
helping. I don't mean that he has policies that are generally great for California. What I
I think
mean
I'm a
is
better
that
speaker. I
he's
think Harris is a better speaker. I think Hillary Clinton is a better
no,
speaker. I don't think he's
no,
gifted.
no. He's
I don't think he has
dude.
the
He's
gift of
charismatic.
gab, and I don't think he has the gift
I
of
think
policies.
I no, but I think he's cringe, but I think he's charismatic. Like,
No, I don't
dude,
think he's
this guy.
charismatic. I think he's
You don't think
a
he's
decent looking
charismatic?
guy. I think he's a
Yeah,
decent
he
looking
is a very
guy,
handsome. He is a
but I
very
don't think he's
handsome.
charismatic. Not at all. Not even to the slightest.
Yeah.
Obama. Now, Obama was extremely charismatic. He could convince
Yeah.
you in deportation, and
I
you'd be
don't know
like,
why. I don't know why you guys didn't like Obama more, man. He deported like 3 million people. He was
it's
a
because I love
massive.
deportations. That's why. But
Yeah, I
also,
don't know why you didn't
regardless of
like him
policy,
more.
even if he had the worst policies ever, Obama had the gift of gab. The gift of gab is you know how to
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
very well. Obama was
yeah.
almost like the pimp of politicians.
What did you not like about Obama's policies?
I
Honestly.
didn't like his insurance policies. He's the first person to give free insurance to illegal immigrants and tax people that worked a 9 to 5 job that couldn't, not tax, but he fined them. He fined people that worked a 9 to 5 job that couldn't
You're
afford
talking about
insurance.
Obamacare. So
Yeah,
first of
that's
all,
the thing I
yeah.
didn't like.
So first of all, the thing I'll say is Roberts upheld that provision in the Supreme Court. The second thing I'll say is you know that you know where Obamacare came from originally, right? You know what it was originally.
I don't know, but when
Maybe
it
you
has the
don't.
name Obamacare, it's
I
unfortunate.
have an advantage. I have an advantage to knowing this because I'm from Massachusetts. That's not a trick question. So you can look it up. Obamacare was more or less originally Romney Care, and it was a conception of the
Romney care.
Heritage
Romney
Foundation.
was never president, though.
No. I know. I'm saying in Massachusetts, the Heritage, and you guys can fact check me. Fact check me. If I'm. Oh, you're saying Newsom, but I'm saying yeah. The Obamacare was originally the idea that we're going to mandate people get private insurance. That was originally like, as somebody who's broadly on the left, I support the Medicaid expansion. Let me say this too. I think you understand this by now. Euro, should I call you Euro on here or by
Yeah,
your
you
real
can call
name?
me my real name, Graham or Euro,
Okay,
whatever you
Graham.
want.
So let me preface anything. Anytime you talk to me, none of the handouts, none of the benefits or anything like that, none of those are going to help me. I don't get any of them. I get none of those things.
You know,
So
a
I'm
lot of Trump voters voted for Obama's first term, right?
yeah, I mean, particularly in the Rust Belt, man. See, this is the reason I came. Here's the reason I came on here. Okay, so we live in a world where, and I'm sort of sympathetic to it, but like when you and I have a conversation like this, like people on the left, yeah, like people on the left get very mad at like me for doing it and say that I'm enabling and all this and that, right? That's really
And they call
insulting
me a
and patronizing.
Nazi, a racist, and they say they're gonna
Dude, you're
shoot me in the
not,
back of the
man.
head
I'm
with a
not gonna get into the
44.
Discord, but you're not, dude. I mean, I don't know, maybe you're racist. I definitely don't think you're a Nazi based on,
I'm not
you might
racist.
be
What
racist.
racist
I
thing have
don't
I
know,
ever
man.
said? I
I'm
joke
just saying, I
sometimes.
don't know. You don't know if I'm I could be racist. You don't know that,
Well, I would
you
never
know?
accuse you of being racist without evidence.
No, I'm just saying you don't know that. But my point is like, look,
I don't think you're
I'm
racist. I wouldn't claim you're racist. That seems
no,
ridiculous.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying we don't know. We don't know what's in each other's hearts. But here's my thing. I'm half of my family is from the South, so that's where I bring that mentality into every interaction I do. And
You both silly for supporting any politician. Hit that
yeah,
like button,
wait,
subscribe.
Brian,
If
what
you
do
got
we
any
do?
questions,
What do you want to do? You
I
know
don't
what I
know.
hate?
He's more on the left. I'm more on the right. If you guys got any
Yeah,
questions, comments, drop some super chats.
yeah. Listen, and drop. You know what? I will say this. This man's built a really good Discord community. There's certain people in it that I find to be snowflakes, but overall, it's a really good environment for Discord. I've had some really fun conversations. So, but yeah, man, like
You're telling me to
I want
drop you. I'm just joking.
wait,
I'm not
what
gonna
who's
drop
saying
you.
to drop me?
I don't
He
know.
wants
This Leonardo guy is saying this chat sucks. Drop him already.
you can drop
Nah,
me
let
if
him
you want,
speak.
man.
Let him
I'm
speak.
not gonna be offended. They don't like that we're not doing the blood sports. They don't like that.
You know
Listen,
he's
if you
actually a
do,
heavy Democrat. He's extremely radical left, so he doesn't even support me. He's never dropped $1 in super chat.
yeah, I'm a good super chatter. You got to give me that. I'm a good super chatter.
Exactly. You actually support the channel. These people, they literally hate me, but even though you're voting for their interests, they hate you too.
Dude, you
California is
have
a broken state. Obama was better than Biden, but way too much DEI. What do you think about that
what?
comment?
Wait, brother, what is DEI? Tell me what you think DEI is. That's my thing. Because, like, dude, I'm gonna keep it real and I'm gonna keep it PC. Okay, like,
PC principle.
all right, so we've had here's what I would say. Okay, I'm I work with I don't like anti-Semitism, right? I don't like anti-Semitism at all. I
Oh,
represent
really? Now you don't like anti-Semitism.
No, I don't.
Previously in the
You
Discord, you're
no.
supporting a lot of it.
No. Here's what I would say. Okay. Here's what I'd say. And it goes into the woke idea. Okay. The thing I don't like is I'm not, and I tell Jewish people in my life this. I don't support the Israeli government and what they're doing right now. What I don't like is the reflexive accusations of anti-Semitism whenever there's a criticism of the Israeli government. You will probably agree with me that that there's been a big history, particularly towards Trump supporters, of you're racist, right? It's a thought terminating cliche, right? You don't like that. But the same thing is that's my point, and it is, you'll never find me doing I will criticize Israel. I will criticize Israel because I do. And if Mossad is in here, I'm just joking.
There's no Mossad in here. You don't gotta worry. But
All right, good,
diversity,
good.
equity, and inclusion. You don't think that's racist? Prioritizing people that are diverse and equalizing homosexuals, transgenders, putting them basically as priority
Can I be
above white
honest? Can I be
straight men.
honest? Do you remember in the Discord yesterday how that guy like cried? I'm sorry, I'm talking about the Discord. I'm talking about Fight Club when you're not in Fight Club, but I'm saying like I don't
I wasn't in
I don't
Fight Club, basically.
no, but I'm using an analogy. I don't really care about like that. I don't One of my best friends is a huge Trump supporter, and he gets up in arms about like DEI and all these cultural war issues. I don't care really that much. I really don't
If you've
like.
never worked a bunch of 9 to 5 jobs as a lawyer, it might be hard for you to understand because no one's gonna pick. There's barely any diverse, inclusion, equity lawyers. I mean, the majority of lawyers are not black, they're not gay, and they're not, any of these other
Be
things.
shocked,
So
man, especially in family court. Listen, but I have a daughter though, right? So I can say that too. I can be like, I got a daughter. Anybody who doesn't have a daughter can't talk about being worried about our daughters being assaulted by trans people, right? Like,
okay, so we have a great alignment. Me, you, Dusty, everyone here. Would you let? Here's a crazy question.
wait, do you
Maybe
have
you
a
can't
daughter? Are you
answer
dad?
this.
Are you dad?
Huh?
Are you
No, but
dad?
maybe you can't answer
Oh
this
no, I'm
question.
not judging. I'm just
No,
asking.
I'm saying no, but maybe you can't. Maybe you can't answer this question. But would you let a trans person teach your daughter? A man. No, let me before you answer. A man wearing
Yeah,
lipstick, a dress, and a skirt, and you can tell he's a man. Your daughter can tell he's a man.
let's let's really take the logical. He's also Brock Lesnar. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me say this. We're gonna put our daughter into private school. So that's the first thing, but that's different reasons. Maybe it means I'm out of touch. I don't know.
That's
But
because
like,
you don't want a trans
no,
or an LGBTQ teaching
no.
them.
That's because we're gonna put our
That's
daughter
because you're
in Christian
conservative.
school. No, I'm not. It's not. No, man, I'm not, dude. I'm like, listen, the major issue about sexual assault is going on right now with the Epstein list, and it's not
Really, that's
only.
the
I'm not
major issue. Not the
for me. I mean,
300,000 kids that went missing at Biden's border.
of course, I'm worried about that, man. I see that firsthand in
But a lot
in
of
what I
people
do.
deny that kids go missing at the open border policies.
No,
Where's
of course
Santa, friend? Santa
I
definitely is
agree
not
with
here.
that. But y'all are throwing out numbers like 12 million people came over, and they're just not true. Why not say there
I
was
think it's actually
500?
more than 12 million.
What? Yeah, but that's my point. Like, why not just say 500 gajillion million? Like, it's all
It might
arbitrary.
as
There's no.
well be, honestly. I don't care if it's 10 million
Listen,
or 20 million. Deport them
I'm gonna.
all.
There's. Listen, man. There's very few issues that I take. Like, I take. I don't know. I have to be. There's stories from my career that I want to share about. But here's what. Let me ask you a question, okay? And this is not even, again, not a debate, just a discussion. But do you like? And I'm being honest with you. Do you want to? When you think of somebody who's literally like, let's say there's a guy and he has his wife and kids over, and they're in a shelter, right? Like a homeless shelter, and he's going to Wendy's every day and he's working and bringing money. Do you want that? Do you sit up at night wanting that guy to be deported?
What do you mean he's bringing money to Wendy's every night?
He's working at Wendy's, and then he's bringing money for his family so that they can survive.
I don't care.
So they can
Deport him.
survive
He
here.
entered the country illegally. He's
Yeah,
a
but like,
criminal by law.
yeah, but
I
lots of
don't
people are
care if it's a
criminals, dude. Like,
7-year-old picking grapes for minimum wage.
yeah, but why does that issue bother you so much, though? Why
First
does
off,
that?
you're being taken advantage of. They're not getting the same wage for the majority of the time.
Yeah, I would agree with
Why
that. Do
would
you
you pay
acknowledge?
someone the same wage when you're literally risking fines, penalties as the
Yeah,
employer?
well, wait. First, I'm sorry to go off on a. Do you acknowledge that the Trump admin did this en masse, like hired undocumented immigrants?
What
I
do
mean,
you
not
mean
the
by
admin,
that?
the organization. Like the
You
Trump
mean Trump
organization
Towers
hired
and his hotels? He's talked
his
about
whole
this before.
organization. Yeah, they hired a lot of undocumented immigrants.
I wouldn't say a lot, but maybe a small percentage. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I mean,
That was before any political things.
yeah, but do you criticize that?
I mean, every business does it. It wasn't the majority. When you say
Yeah,
a
but you're
majority, that's an exaggeration.
no. I didn't say the
And
majority. I'm
Trump
saying, do you know?
himself isn't a part of every hiring, so that's not even on him.
Yeah,
really.
but you wouldn't. But if it was Soros, the
No, if he
Soros
wasn't in charge
organization,
of the
you'd
hiring,
be
I
like,
wouldn't
oh,
blame
Soros
him.
is controlling it. No, I'm just saying. Look, this is what.
I don't blame Soros for everything. I'm
Okay,
not
fair
really a
enough. No,
Soros kind of blame guy.
fair enough. When I'm talking to MAGA supporters, I try to look to see if you guys are able to criticize Trump, and I give you respect for that.
Yeah, I can criticize him. We have a big
Yeah.
question though. Do you mind answering a question in the comments real quick?
Sure.
Would you let a trans go into your daughter's bathroom alone?
All right. So my daughter's. Do you want me to literally answer the question?
Yeah, literally answer the question.
My daughter's 1. I wouldn't let her go into the bathroom, period. Like when she's
What about 5? Would you let a man that looks like Les Brockner go into the bathroom with her if he said he was a trans woman or a woman,
like,
whatever the fuck you want to call it?
All right. First, I'm going to do an indictment on parents in general. I don't think you should let a 5-year-old go into the bathroom, period.
Okay, what about 10?
All right. I'm not trying to be I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there.
No, but what about 10? At 10, you can go to the bathroom alone. Would you let your 10-year-old daughter go into the bathroom with Breck Losner?
So
here's
what would happen. Yeah. So here's what happens, and I feel like I'm not trying to pull the parent card, but I feel like a lot of people who don't have kids like don't understand. And I've also had a foster kid.
No, personally.
So here, let me play this out, right? If you're bringing your kid to the bathroom, you don't just like let him go and walk off. You let him go in, and then every 2 minutes you knock on the door and you yell in there, everything okay? Like that's That's what you
Okay,
do when you're.
let's
So
forget
that's
about
what I would
age
do.
completely
So
then. Let's
the
say your
answer is
daughter's at
yes.
school, 10 years old. Brock Lesnar walks in there. She calls you. She
Mhm.
said, Brock Lesnar's in here. He's saying that he's a natural born woman. What would you do?
I would think that Brock Lesnar was mentally ill.
Oh, the truth comes out. Finally, the
No,
truth
I'm
comes
not going
out.
to hide that. I'm not going to hide that. And I don't think. Look, man, I don't think that that is. I don't think that's transphobic. Like I know Brock Lesnar. Like if Brock Lesnar went like gender dysphoria. The truth is, and I'm not. I'm not. Answer the blasted question. Yes or no? Would I let my daughter go into the bathroom? Yes. Yes. Because I'd be right outside the door. And I'm 230 pounds. And I've done jujitsu for 8 years.
I like
Like,
this comment,
uh,
though. Pause in the
what do you say?
conversation real quick. This is a funny comment. Brock Lesnar is in a middle school? Jesus, the mental gymnastics.
No,
This is
I like that. No, I'll be honest. I like that you're able to go down the stupid hypotheticals because you have to do it, man. You got to do it. You got to do it.
they're
You got to
gonna
do it to
say
be able
this
to
is
look.
exactly what aboutism is, or what do they call that shit? What aboutism? What aboutism? What aboutism?
Yeah, I mean, wait, who's doing whataboutism?
I mean, they would say I'm doing whataboutism, but
No,
if you
you're
guys
not.
have any
No, 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 no,
questions
no. You're
or
not being bad
comments,
faith.
he's
You're
more
not.
on the left. I'm more on the right, but he's more on the right than he likes to agree. But if you got any questions, comments, drop some super chats. We read them all out loud.
I
Song for what?
I have right wing. I have right wing positions. I just don't.
No,
They're
you
not.
absolutely have right wing positions. You're like an eviction lawyer. Like you're evicting people. Like this is a huge argument I wanted to bring up. You remember during COVID when states like California, other blue states, they literally did not want to evict people because they said, "Oh, it's a COVID pandemic. We can't evict anyone. We gotta let them stay for free."
So
Meanwhile, the
hold on.
landlords were forced to pay rent,
Yeah,
mortgage, any other property costs. They had
my
no choice.
here's my. Let me. Can I tell you my issue with housing? It's not. Yeah. So the issue with a lot of these laws is they what they do is they do. I'm for lack of a better word to make the most easily accessible descriptor, I'll say they do socialism by mandating that private people provide it, right? So I don't I don't have issues with housing subsidies. I would like to increase housing
That's
subsidies.
not even the
Like you,
topic, really.
no, but I'm getting to it, right? So I'm always, you're never going to get a non-roundabout answer from me. So my point is, yes, people struggled. I represented people who lost their own shirts because no, I wouldn't, Bionic. So sorry, I got distracted. So yeah, no, I hated it, man. It's awful. And unfortunately, the people that it really hurt were mom and
Property
pop
owners.
people. Yeah, well, it wasn't just property owners. I have clients, and I have clients that have had, thousands of units. They can absorb that, but the mom and like the people that it really hurt were like people who are, like they don't like maybe they're on disability themselves. They're not working. They inherit their parents' property, and then they have a small mortgage because they had to remortgage the house, and then they rent out the other end of it, right? And then you have somebody who's a professional get in there and then drive them, like completely drive them up. Yeah, I think it's horrible. I hate that. I didn't agree with a lot of the COVID era eviction protections because they weren't designed towards addressing the issue. They were pawning the issue off on homeowners to provide the aid. You know what I mean? Is that distinction? Do you know what I mean by that? Like
Yeah.
the government, like these state governments, right? Or whenever a politician allocates money, believe it or not, it requires a certain amount of capital, right? Like they have to manage the budget somehow. So it's much easier to say, oh no, we're just going to say like, who gives a shit if you can't pay your mortgage, right? Than actually giving money. Now you and I may disagree about providing housing subsidies, but wait, I'm trying to read I have ADHD.
It would
But
be more
yeah,
scary if John Cena was in the bathroom. You can't see him.
I was just gonna say you can't see him. Yeah, man. I don't know. I think yeah, so where were we going? So yeah, no, I don't agree with that stuff, man. I don't agree with a lot of it. I mean, people still had to pay rent and there were an increase of federal funds to bail out landlords. But yeah, I mean, I won't lie, it hurt a lot of really good people, those policies. And I also think that, I also think that there's the do you know eminent domain? Are you read on eminent domain
Yeah.
and the takings clause? Yeah. So like a lot of us had, an argument that, if our client's ponying up the money, that it was actually unconstitutional to do that because you're effectively doing a taking of people's property, right, without compensating them. You're saying your property is going to be the designation of, like this tenant for an indefinite amount of time, and it's on you. So a lot of us had that argument just, to do an appeal, to effectively make law through an appeal, you have to spend a lot of money. You got to pay somebody like me like 15, 20 grand to do the appeal.
By the way, this comment's very interesting. South Park nailed Trump. Funny enough, I just watched the new South Park episode. I've seen clips of it before.
It's
I'm
pretty
pretty much
funny.
getting people talking about it every single episode. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I'm a little
Oh,
bit
good. I'm
surprised
glad you
though.
can acknowledge that. I'm glad you can
I
acknowledge
mean,
that.
yeah, most MAGA isn't snowflakes, and also it wasn't even as much
Some
about Trump as I expected. Like, it was funny because the episode was like, "Oh, Trump's forcing Jesus in school. We got to get that out of school," and then he sued the whole town.
No, yeah, people are saying that South Park didn't make fun of Biden, but I looked back and they did. Like, if they didn't make fun of Biden, it would be criminal. But they actually
No,
did
man,
make
I
fun
think
of
you
him.
guys will be pissed. I have a good feeling that the next South Park episode will be something about Harris, maybe something about Biden, but you know what would be really funny? Forget about Biden and Harris. Let's make a whole episode about Hunter Biden. Wouldn't that be freaking funny as shit?
I don't know, man. Hunter Biden, he's kind of like, I don't know. He's kind of
Don't tell me you
like,
feel bad for the fool.
no, it's like, when you cook a burger too much and it's like really crispy and it tastes bitter. I don't know. I feel like he's done.
He's toast. He's
It
done.
would be, but he's yes, Major, release the files, 100%, 100%.
If you guys got any questions, comments, anything you want us to read out loud, we got 459
Jack,
people in here.
how can
Drop some
I,
super
what
chats.
have I personally said, Jack, that would lead you to believe that I don't have brain cells?
He's probably talking about me because I'm wearing the red hat.
No, I think we've been having a normal discussion here.
If you guys got
Half
any questions,
these people,
comments,
I'll be
drop some
honest,
super
half these
chats.
people on the left and the
Okay, here we
right
go.
haven't left their house. Yeah, go ahead.
Here is a super chat. There should be an episode where Butter ends up on Epstein Island.
Oh no, with a
That's
wig.
just fucked up. I laughed a
With a
little bit
wig.
too much. It isn't even funny. It's just fucked up.
With a wig, though, too. He wears a wig. Oh, God.
Nah, it should involve Hunter Biden. I'm telling you, either Kamala, Hunter Biden, or Joe. It's only fair. I mean, they made a whole damn season about Trump. They're kind of beaten. To be fair, I do think the episode is funny, but if we're talking about writing and bringing shit up over and over again, they're kind of beating a dead horse, if you ask me. They made a whole
On who?
season about Trump.
Yeah, I mean, he's a pretty easy target, dude. Trump's a pretty easy target. I mean, I think he's in power, man. So they're gonna make fun of who's in power,
But did you vote
I
for
think
Harris? This is the serious question.
no. Can I tell you really what happened, honestly?
Yeah, sure. Tell me
So
the story.
this is actually a wild story. So I moved to my house I won't say when because people are gonna like try to do deep doxing, but I moved to my house somewhere recently, well before the election. And I've always been registered, so I go to the polling location, and I was literally removed from the rolls.
Because you're a felon, you
And
can't vote.
Yeah. No. I've honestly, so I will, for all purposes, identify as a Democrat here, but I've never been registered as a Democrat. I've always been registered as an independent. So I'm not like, no. I will say this: I have been registered as a Republican before when I voted for Ron Paul. So like, but I've always been independent, and I wasn't on the list, so I couldn't vote.
Area 51 is confirmed. What do you mean it's not real?
Yeah, what do you mean it's not real? Do you mean there's no aliens, or it's not a thing?
This guy personally loves paying tariffs.
Do I like paying tariffs, Daniel? No, I don't pay tariffs. What I pay is an increased price amount that is determined by the company selling the product.
Because
They
he
pay
loves buying
tariffs.
Chinese goods. That's why.
Do you guys? This is the thing I'll say to the conservatives and the liberals. Are you guys aware that companies jack up the prices and they blame it? Like, tariffs do drive up the prices, but do you know that companies they love the tariffs because they can say like let's say a widget costs $1 and the tariff comes in and it makes it $1.50. They're going to charge you $2.50 and say that it's purely the tariff. Are you guys aware that
That's
happens?
literally what Walmart does. That's
Yeah, 100%. No, that's 100%.
Walmart has admitted to it.
Yeah.
They're like,
no,
oh, Trump's tariffs, that means we can be like the first company to raise prices.
I'm not a tariff. I'm not a broad across the board tariff fan, but that's aside. Like a lot of the price, like, because there have been price increases. I'm sure you'll even, like, if you go to Walmart, like, there have been, but it's not all tariffs. It's companies love when they can take something and then they can artificially increase the prices.
They'll literally raise the price because the majority of Democrats believe the price is going up.
I mean, I'm not going to deny that. I would say on the other end, like,
and a lot of companies will actually, even if they are getting tariffed, they'll actually take the hit before they pass it on to consumers. A couple car companies admitted to this.
Who will do that?
I think it was like Honda, maybe one of them. It was some big car manufacturer that said, "Yeah, we'll take like a 10% hit. We'll just take a 10%."
I wouldn't do that.
I mean, I would if other companies are raising their prices. You can still make good profits.
Yeah,
that's a competitive price advantage.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but
and what do you think? If tariffs are so bad, why do other countries put them on us first at higher rates?
And listen, my issue with the tariffs, dude, was they weren't in response to other tariffs. He did across the board tariffs.
But a lot of them were, not all of them.
I wish. Listen, I wish there was another example because I wish I could show you that I'm not doing it just because it's Trump. But like,
no, like Vietnam. Vietnam had I believe 90%, 100%.
Yeah, that's what he said, but it wasn't true though. That's what Trump cited, but it wasn't like Okay, I can't remember. I can send it to you in Discord. He used some crazy woke algorithm to like try to show
woke
that
algorithm.
Yeah, every time.
That's what this whole conversation was going to be about.
Just so you know, every time Trump does something that I think is dumb, I'm going to call it woke. I'm reappropriating.
I don't understand how you can call it woke.
Because
your party.
Because you guys call everything you don't like woke. So I'm going to do it too. I'm taking woke from you guys.
No, that's not what we call woke. There's things I don't like about Trump. I don't call it woke.
I call a lot of things woke, man. I don't like it when liberals.
You know what I call woke?
What?
I call woke letting California cut off children under 18's penises off.
When what?
Do that if you're over 18. I have no problem with it.
All right, okay. I'm gonna give a challenge for chat too. Okay, this is a challenge for you and challenge for chat. Post a link or reference something where a child has gotten their penis chopped off. An example.
I mean, it's been talked about in the Discord lots of times. This is
specific example, though. Nobody will do it.
Oh,
nobody will do it.
Dusty.
Chat, do it.
Dusty on the phone, he told me.
I did, yeah, I did.
Talked to him on video call. And he's a great guy. He can tell you about this exactly. He's literally an expert.
Yeah, but nobody can, like...
He told me this. He told me, did you know if kids actually run away from their parents, they don't even need... If they run away from home and they're under 18, they do
Yeah,
not actually
Tracy,
need their parents to
Tracy,
sign off on
hold
stuff.
on. Tracy, that's not, when you're talking about, you can have a discussion about puberty blockers, but that's not getting bottom surgery. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not arguing that there's kids having puberty blockers. To be frank, I'm not the right person to have on about that stuff. It's not like my knowledge base about it is not high. And
Well, Michael Gilrin dropped a whole super chat about tariffs. If you rather just turn back to the tariffs conversation, maybe you can read the Michael Gilrin super chat. Would you like to read that, or do you want me to read it to you?
I can read it. Like all price crystallization, the burden of a tariff increase is spread along the supply chain from OEM to consumer, 10% tariff to 2% cost increase. I'm not going to lie, Michael. I have not studied that. I've not studied that on an algorithmic level. I'm not going to dispute it. I don't have anything in front of me. I can't even intelligently respond to what you just sent me. I
I
don't know if
mean,
you're
a
saying
10% tariff and a 2% price increase, that's a lot less than what the Democrats claim. They claim if you have a 10% tariff, oh my God, a 10% tariff,
no.
prices are going through the roof.
I think what Michael was saying is that not that there's going to be a 10% increase, but there's going to be a 2% cost increase, which is probably accurate. Michael, is that what you were saying?
I mean, it really depends on the business, though, because like I said before, if it's only a 2% cost increase, if I was already making 90% profits on selling a product and the product is only going to cost me 2% more, I'm not going to raise the price probably because I want a competitive advantage. And people,
Okay.
especially Democrats, if they see
Yeah.
the price is the same or
Yeah.
even lower, they're going to be like, holy shit, this guy, like, he like, it's a good advantage. Like, I should buy this guy's product. Everything else is going up. I
Yeah, but I don't
agree,
think
but the
that happened.
hormones ruin the rest of your life. That is true.
Yeah, so let me say this, like there's so many topics where I'm probably not the best person to talk to because truthfully, I don't know. I am out of touch with a lot of this stuff. I'm being honest. I don't care, like on a personal level, this stuff doesn't affect me. I don't shop at Big Y or Stop and Shop or Piggly Wiggly or any of these places. I shop at Whole Foods. That's where I go. And I buy organic meat. Like that sounds really bad, but that's what I do. And the prices of those goods are relatively static. They're not imported. They're not like, I don't, I'm sounding like a piece of shit right now, but but like I don't. It's not something. It's something I probably should care about a lot more, but I don't. It doesn't. It doesn't affect at this point of my life, my family, or me. I'll be honest. Wait,
Someone said, Graham, where the hell did you find a reasonable liberal? Well, this guy's a lawyer, so he should be somewhat reasonable.
I don't. The
Whole
criticism,
Foods has become cheaper than Publix. I actually do believe that.
probably, man. Amazon's on it. Listen, man. This is what I'll say, and this is a criticism of MAGA, right? Like what I've learned, and I'm not old, but I'm not old, but I'm older than I was, is that the one thing I see a lot of people in MAGA do is Trump will just say something, right? Like something super complex. Like he'll talk about the big, beautiful bill and then about how it's wonderful. And you guys will be like, not you guys, but a lot of people in MAGA will be like, yeah, I read it. It's amazing. Blah, blah, blah. Like I'm a fucking lawyer. The thing is like
I don't agree with everything on the big beautiful
no,
bill,
but my point is you have motherfuckers saying like the day after it's written, like I read it, it's amazing. Like, no, you didn't. I'm a lawyer and it took me to get through the first like 20 pages. It took me hours. I know for damn sure half the people that are talking about it.
That's how I know they're lying, because Democrats and liberals will tell me straight up, yeah, I read 980 pages of it. It's terrible and it's killing America. That bill is a murder bill. The same goes for me, but it's mostly Democrats telling me that this is a murder bill and that Trump is starving people from insurance and Medicare and Social Security.
I mean,
so I think I probably get this even worse than you. And they swear to God Almighty that they read all
because yes, there's a lot of
pages.
people reading what they say, but here's something undisputable. Somebody in MAGA, check me on this, okay? Find your favorite provision in there, okay? I want you to find your favorite provision, allege no tax on tips, alleged no tax on, and I'm saying alleged because they're talking about a limited deduction. There's no tax, right? After every single one of those provisions,
you get it at the end of the year.
Yeah, you get, but my point is, all of that sunsets in 2028. The weird obscure provisions.
Of course, a lot of votes will happen via that bill because they will enjoy the benefits. So
I
a lot
get,
of things are like that.
yeah,
And they
but
add
I
to it
get
the liberal. He's more
I
liberal than me. Obviously, I'm the one wearing the Trump hat.
I get the political motivations, but what I'm saying is, if you're a good person, you care about America, you're not going to do that. You're going to be like, all right, because like there's some liberals that won't acknowledge, like, some of the tax benefits for the middle class and the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. I'm not one of them, but the criticism that's
Naples, Florida check. Awesome guy. Sorry, I'm reading the
yeah,
comments.
you know what?
ADHD here.
Hey, lawyer, how about Medicare and Medicaid? Wait, are you assuming that I don't think that the big shitty bill cuts those? Like, yeah, I think it's horrible. I think it's horrible. But I'm talking
I think
about,
it cuts. Maybe you know more than me, but at this point, I believe it's been over a month now, and the only people that I've heard that have lost millions
it's
of
not going to go into
Medicare and
effect. It's not
insurance.
going to take effect until what,
It's not going to go
2026?
into effect until 2029, 2028. Blah,
No,
blah.
no. Well, I'm saying it's literally not. It was. I don't even. To be honest, I actually lost track of where it is in the legislative.
Okay, so you don't really know, but I appreciate you admitting that. The
I know
honesty.
the bill. I know the bill. I'm just saying you're not going to notice a lot of these things right away. You don't with anything. You don't with any legislation that was just passed and signed into
But
law.
people that are my grandparents that are Democrats, they swear, "Oh my God, Trump is going to cut our Medicare and our Social Security any day now, any day."
Well, nobody did though. They did in the bill. They literally reallocated it. I think it's something like $800 billion.
Yeah, they reallocated it from illegal immigrants to U.S.
No,
citizens.
they didn't, man. That's not what they did. They took it. They cut it. They cut the funding for it, dude. They cut the funding for it.
They did cut the funding for it, but it actually
Not.
doesn't take away the actual benefits itself. It fires a
No,
lot
it
of
does.
employees.
It does.
It
Listen.
fires the employees itself.
They're gonna
It loses a
package
lot
it.
of jobs for people that working in Medicare.
They're
But it
they're gonna
doesn't take
package
away
it
the actual
in
benefits.
whatever. They're gonna package it. So like, let me ask you this, right? Why in the bill, right? The criticism is that the bill is gonna raise the debt by $5 trillion, right? 4 to 5 trillion, right? If
Some
that's not
Democrats say
true,
$7 trillion.
no, it's not just Democrats. It's almost every libertarian. It's a lot of
Yeah, but can we
conservatives,
agree
right?
on one thing? That this is undoubtedly true. Trump brought $1.4 trillion into the United States this week. I have the numbers right here.
I
Let me
can't
find my
verify
notepad
that.
because
I can't.
I
I
can
can't.
verify it. I have the
No,
numbers right
you
here.
can verify what you read. I can't.
No, I can
I'm
verify it
much
for you,
more
really.
okay. I'll
Let me
listen to you. It
verify it
doesn't.
for you, please. Let me
Yeah.
explain the $1.3 trillion in investment, 750. Now, see, Democrats will say, oh, the United States doesn't have any extra energy to sell. Well, this bill says $750 billion of selling our energy to Europe, the EU nations. EU nations. And I'm not 100% sure on this part, but I've even read that this is a yearly contract, 750 billion yearly. But maybe I'm wrong on that part. Maybe it's a one-time deal. But
So
it's also $600 billion in direct investment from the EU and different projects and infrastructure in the United States. So that's
I know.
1.3 trillion total. We also got
Yeah.
over 1.4 trillion directly from Saudi Arabia. So that's 2.7 trillion right there. So they're talking about this is
So of the
5, 6, $7 trillion in deficit. We've already made more than that in 6
so
months.
of the 50 deals he was going to do in 90 days, which deal was this? Is this number 51 or 52 or like 3?
You mean 90? You mean 90 day? You mean 90 deals in 90 days?
He said he was going to do 50. I think maybe it was 90. You're making it worse. I think he said
No, it's
50
90.
deals and.
See, you don't even know what he said. Here's what he
I mean, you're
actually
making
said.
it worse, dude. You're
No,
saying
but listen, let me tell you
90
what he
deals in
said.
90 days.
Let me
You're
tell you what he
raising the
said, though.
standard. Okay.
He said
Okay.
90
Go ahead.
deals. He said 90
Yeah.
deals in 90 days, or or we're going to hit them with tariffs again at full power. And he's been hitting these countries with tariffs at full power once again.
I gotta keep it real. I want to keep chatting, but I'm in the literally. I'm not kidding. Like I'm enjoying this conversation. I'm gonna lose service soon. I'm really sorry, but I will talk until then. But I may hop off. I'm letting you know I'm not rage quitting. I'm actually enjoying.
Yeah,
this
I'm enjoying it too.
So I can't. Yeah. I'm just like I don't want the MAGA people to think I'm rage quitting.
People,
and
my
frankly,
Uncle Andy right down here, he's MAGA. He says, "Come back."
No, I honestly, I think everybody, I think most people in any chat are like too terminally online to like. I think people's brains break when you just talk. You know, like I'm sorry to go on a tangent, but I don't think you and I probably disagree about a lot. But there's no, I don't know. I haven't been red pilled on the idea that there's harm in talking like this. I've had a lot of people try to scold me about it, but I don't.
No, some of the people in the chat, some people in the Discord, I would absolutely not, never talk with, most likely, because they're just literally deranged. They would scream at you. They'd call you multiple names. I appreciate the civil conversation. I'm actually considering making.
Yeah.
I'm considering making a members only Discord where it would only be people that are YouTube members, because I have a new YouTube membership, and I noticed a lot of people in the Discord. I'm not saying all of them. I'm not going to say any specific names either, but I noticed a lot of people in the Discord are most likely jobless for the due fact that they are like literally constantly messaging in chat, even if they own their own business. It seems likelihood to me that a lot of them that don't own their own businesses or don't have their own career or job are pretty much jobless. And no offense to them, no offense to anyone that doesn't make a lot of money or is jobless, but I think it would be a much more powerful community if we had people that were like actual, like, business owners, stuff like that. And if we had a members only community where it's only people that are or that are part of the YouTube membership, which is like very cheap, like $10 a month or something, I think that would be a much more powerful community, because then we would have strictly business owners, hardworking people, people that want to own their businesses, stuff like this. I even think you agree. A lot of people that are like basically worthless join the Discord, but this should be the public Discord for everyone.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to join the Discord, hit the like, subscribe button, and the Discord is linked in my bio.
Here's the one thing I'll tell you about the Discord, though, and I do like your community, but here's the one thing I'll tell you. There are a lot of people who are conservative, but you don't obviously have an opportunity to go into all the chats and everything, but they're trying to be snakes to you, man. They're trying to say things that are not true. Like I won't get into it, but there was something the other day where one of them was saying that somebody was trying to like dox, and this person was lying about that, my friend. Like he was just lying about that, and he was mad because he lost the debate on religion. He lost the debate, and he got sad, and he cried, and then he went to you, and again, I'm not faulting you. Like you got so many channels, you got to go in now. You got a YouTube channel, but I'm just telling you, man, people are trying to. I'm like. This lib is looking out for you, and I'm telling you, man, you got to watch out for not only the lib snowflakes, but also the conservative snowflakes. You got to look out for them, man. They don't have your best interests at heart. None of them
needs to be doing his job more. He needs to be informing me. I mean, he did inform me. He basically did say the same thing that you said, but I don't know. Red Acres is a good guy. I don't know if he would really lie to me too much. And I feel like if someone is...
I'm not. He did.
This man does not look like he would cry, but... You're losing service already. Where are you driving to? The middle of nowhere? Is that why you're going to lose service?
Dude, I live in the sticks, man. Like I live in the total sticks. My life's mission was. Can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you.
Hello. Yeah. So the whole reason, I'll tell you this before I leave. The reason I started a business and hopefully become successful was so I could move away from people. That was my goal.
Hell yeah, I respect that. That's amazing. Congratulations. People are awful. I get why you'd want to move away from them.
I like nature. Who here like?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Anyone in nature? I don't know. Someone said
It, I,
RIP to his service.
yeah, my service. Hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
Okay, I was
He's a
saying who in
gun
the chat
owner,
is
so he
nature
probably
pilled.
isn't too pro gun control.
I'm not. I'm not a gun control guy.
I'm just reading the comments out loud. I already kind of knew the answer on this, but I'm just reading some comments out loud.
I'm a big social safety net guy. I am. I am. And I'm a like I'm a big take care of. I love. We all love our country, man. But I'm like I I grew up without a lot of money, so and I got a family. My bleeding heart comes from family, man. And like, and when I always tell people, man, when you get a kid and you hold a baby, not to be sentimental, but when you hold a baby in your hands, man, and you just see that little baby crying and whimpering, like it changes stuff for you, So that's where a lot of my motivations come from.
Euro, this guy is all over the place. I don't understand what he's talking about. Plus, this dude you're talking about is cutting out. It's funny. I don't understand this guy saying Euro. He keeps cutting out. I don't know what you're rambling about. You're the one that's talking all over the place. I actually agree with a lot of the stuff that he's saying. But if you guys have any questions or comments for him before he completely cuts out, drop some super chats. This is your big opportunity to ask, a more left-leaning lawyer any questions that you guys might have. Long live the Second Amendment. Hell yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're on.
All right. Well, for one, I have ADHD. I disclose I have ADHD. I can't stand a topic. It's and if you're making fun of me, you're being ableist. So
I mean, he didn't say anything about that, but either way, his comment was stupid. I get a lot of haters anyway. They either gonna hate on me or they're gonna hate on you.
no, I don't
Or
think I've been
they're gonna hate on you for hating on me. Do you miss Scalia?
Do I miss Scalia? Yeah, and I'm going to tell you why I miss Scalia. Okay, I didn't agree. Well, it's funny. Can you hear
Mm-hmm.
me? I want to make sure
Yes,
I'm
I can
not
hear
like
you.
glitching out. Okay. So most people who aren't lawyers or don't read constitutional opinions, they assume that like we live in a very reductive, simplistic society where people just assume like Scalia writes Republican and Ginsburg writes Democrat. It's not that simple. So Scalia, when you're talking about individual personal rights, Scalia was amazing. He was a huge defender on not just the Second Amendment, but the Fourth Amendment, like when you're talking about illegal searches and seizures, that kind of thing. Scalia was probably on the right side of just about every one of those issues. He was also very funny. He was also very like so if you're in law school, which I was, which is very boring at times, you want somebody like Scalia writing opinions. So if nothing else, I'll always miss that. Thomas, and probably more than that, what's his name? Alito. Alito, I don't like. I don't like Alito. I don't like Clarence Thomas. A big reason I don't like Clarence Thomas is because he repeatedly doesn't recuse himself from cases. For example, he's this whenever Monsanto's come up on for a case, he worked. I think it was him or his wife worked for Monsanto actively. He wouldn't recuse himself. So that's why I don't like Thomas. That's a big reason I don't like Thomas. Not because of his decisions, but because I think that he's done corrupt things. Scalia was a really good. He was a great jurist. A lot of people don't know that he was best friends with with Ginsburg. A lot of people don't know that. They like went to Africa together. Um, no, I mean, Scalia was, I don't, I think he was a good jurist. That's my opinion.
Amazing. That was a great answer.
Probably not the one anyone was looking for, but yeah.
Probably pretty closer
Um,
than most people would have said. That was a great answer, I think.
yeah, man, listen, Graham, you and I probably agree on a lot more, man. It's just like, the problem is that we live in a time right now where things are so tribal and,
Extremely
like
tribal.
they're extremely tribal and things are, like,
I don't care if
I
you
don't
hate
know, man.
Trump, but it's like, bro, come on. Don't fucking insult me because of a red hat. That's hilarious. I mean, it's hilarious, but
I
it's
don't,
also sad. It's not sad to me. It's just, it's sad to that person that has to think so tribalistically.
yeah, I think maggots are silly, but I'm not gonna like it's whatever. Like I'm sure you think if somebody's
Yeah, it's
wearing like
okay to say that, though. It's
I
not
think it's
okay to
silly. I
say,
think
I'm going to shoot you in the back of the head because I don't like your red
yeah,
hat. That's not okay.
yeah, 100%. Listen, this is what I'll say to all the liberals. This is what I always say, right? So my trial partner that I do work on, and this is something that nobody's been able to grapple with when I say it. He's a massive Trump supporter. I don't agree with him on politics, but he's dedicated his career to representing poor people in criminal court, right? So like I've said this to a lot of college. I do a lot of MMA. That's what I do for training. So there's a lot of college kids, and they'll, like I had somebody one time be like, I want to send all Trump supporters to gulags, and I'll be like, and then he'll talk about like activism and stuff. I'm like, homeboy, like my trial partner has done more in 1 week for poor people than you have in your entire life. So that's the nuances of life, it's not everything's not black and white. Sometimes we wish
Absolutely.
it
That's a
could be.
really smart opinion. Do you want to answer Michael's question since I think this is mostly for you?
Michael's smarter than me, so I don't know if I want to, but yeah, go ahead.
You want me to read it out loud for you?
Please do. I'm driving.
Do you think Breyer did what he said he never do and leave the court at a political expedient time? Expedient time?
Do I think that, Michael? That's actually a phenomenal question. So I'm probably no more qualified to answer this than the average person because it's not jurisprudence. But what I would say is, I think yes, of course he did. I think that Ruth Bader Ginsburg took a massive L for the side she's on, and I think ego drove her to stay on the bench too long. And I think that if anybody should be mad about there being another conservative justice, they should be mad at Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So I think, but yeah, no, I think he did that.
Some arsehole said, imagine giving a super chat for this guy's mindless
I do think
answer.
he.
This guy's a fucking lawyer. Are you a fucking lawyer? No, you're a degenerate retard.
No, they're not gonna think I'm a lawyer, dude. They're not gonna think I'm a lawyer. They're not gonna nobody will get on live. They're gonna sound like half the people in a chat, whether they're conservative or liberal, they don't ever leave
No,
this.
believe it or not, I've had
When you
some
leave
really
your
big
house, you can have an
super
opinion.
chats at the same time from two different separate lawyers. And these guys were 100% lawyers in my mind. The chats they were leaving, I mean, they didn't even know each other, but they were both lawyers. They didn't join the Discord, unfortunately, but these were two lawyers that support the channel. They might be subscribed somewhere around here.
Yeah, I don't like lawyers as a rule. I don't really like lawyers. I don't hang out with a lot of them. You know what it is, Graham? You know the issue, why people come in here and they just write hostile comments is because this is how we would chat if we were not online. And a lot of these people spend so much time online and they just type that they forget how to talk. So they wear diapers and they just sit in their house and they wear diapers and they type on
Yeah, like
the
Trump
computer
wears
and then
diapers. A lot of these people wear diapers as well.
Hey, at least you admit that Trump wears diapers. I
I'm
appreciate that.
trolling you.
You know something
I'm
funny?
trolling you.
No, you know something funny? My buddy wore diapers when he did the bar exam. No lie. He's
Oh
like,
my fucking
because
god.
like, no, listen, because they teach you to memorize 10,000 rules to be. And by the way, dipshit, in the comments, you could never memorize 10 rules, let alone. I also got a 333 on the bar exam on the AE, which is 2 points higher than the average Harvard bar taker. Okay, I'll stop there. But yeah, you have, you basically have like for all the multiple choice questions, like an average of like a minute or something or 2 minutes. And he's like, yeah, man, if I got to go to the bathroom like 5 times during the day, like that's gonna mean I only have a minute. But like if I just go in my pants, like that'll increase the time by 30 seconds.
What the hell? Sorry, I
Yeah,
started laughing though. That's disgusting. But also, someone said, "Oh, did the old beardy guy get arrested?" He's talking about Eric, aka Tom Pepin TV, aka Dustley, in the chat. He just asked me if he got arrested, and I had to laugh a little bit. I'm like, "Hell no, he didn't get arrested. He's a law-abiding citizen.
I
He's
don't think so. I
following the
think he was
law
in
more
work
than
earlier.
ever."
I think he
Huh?
was in work earlier. I think he was in work earlier. I have a question. I have a question to the left people in chat that are presumably mad at me because I'm not like doing some way you
Flaming.
want me to attack. Yeah, like what would you guys do if you were in a conversation like this? Like we started the conversation talking about Gavin Newsom. Are you guys like the left people that are mad? Would you if you were me, would you like defend Gavin Newsom? Is that what you would do? Is that what you're mad?
Well, they're also mad about that, but the main thing I think they're actually angry about is that you haven't thrown 1,000 insults yet in my face.
Well, but there's like that's the issue. I think part of the problem is, guys, I'm like you can't tell, but that's a
It's
field right there.
Thursday. He is human
I've run in that.
decency.
See that, guys? I've run in that field before. That's grass. So I think the problem is that like we're just talking. If we were talking about something I disagreed on, and I thought that Graham was saying some dumb shit. I do think a lot of Trump supporters say dumb things. I think there's a lot of Trump supporters in a cult, but we're not talking about that. And when somebody's acting like a normal human being, like you can have a really isn't the flex you think it is. I assume it is just a troll account. Guys, we're just having a conversation, bro. We're literally just having a conversation. We've disagreed. He asked me questions. Like he hasn't been rude to me. He hasn't said anything that
It's
is
crazy though because people that spend all day online just scrolling through YouTube, they don't understand a thing called human decency. They don't know how to treat other human beings. They don't realize people are more than their political opinions. It's crazy.
yeah, man. It's like, things are weird. I was talking to somebody the other day. I have to go off on a tangent, but like I'm gonna piss off the tankies in the audience, but Stalin was one of the most evil people in the world, right? But like it's
Oh
kind of
shit, they're gonna
wild.
go off on you now.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not a tanky. I don't like if you're a tanky, I don't like you. I think you're I don't think you have a life. I'm not a tanky. If you're a tanky, identify yourself.
Well,
Identify
basically
yourself if you're a
all
tanky.
117 of these people on the stream.
I don't know, man. I think if somebody was a tanky, they would identify themselves. Nazis wouldn't, but tankies would. Are there any
I
tankies in
don't
the
know.
chat?
We've had lots of Nazis in the chat in the Discord.
We have. I don't like the Nazis. I don't like Nazis, man. I have a lot of criticisms of Israel, and I've grown TRO in the Federal Reserve. Michael, you again ask really interesting questions. So I haven't looked at said injunctive relief on the Federal Reserve. Can you detail what it is? I'm honestly, my friend, I'm behind on a lot of news because I'm just I'm always going, so I'm behind on a lot. A tanky is a term originating in England, I think in the 30s or the 40s. It's somebody that nowadays the most easy the most accessible definition of it or reference to it is that you're a supporter of state capitalism or state authoritarian communism. And I'm saying state capitalism, Graham. I know you're probably gonna cringe when I call like because it's communism while supporting private companies. It's like corrupt. It's like Stalin Russia. It's Mao China. That's a tanky. If you support that, you're a tanky.
Yeah, okay, I understand.
That's what you're for. They don't like. They probably hate me more than they hate you, to be honest. If somebody's
Thoughts
like
on the
that.
Federal Reserve? I don't know. I think it should be a replaced system, but I'm not an economist, so I'm not gonna sit here and say.
I'm a Keynesian. I'm probably a Keynesian more than anything. So yeah, I don't think you should abolish the Federal Reserve. I'm not like a gold standard stand. So no, I'm not for abolishing the Federal Reserve. I think you should audit it, but
Mao is literally from China, so he did indeed describe China.
wait, what?
Fire Powell. What do you think about the guy in charge of the current Federal Reserve? That's an interesting topic.
What do I think? I think he has a term that goes until 2026, and Trump should shut the fuck up. That's what I
You
think. And
don't
I think
think he
Trump.
should lower interest rates? They're
No, I
fine with
don't,
the
because I
current
think it's going to
rates.
increase. Because Trump wants there to be an economic boom, so he can look good. It's going to increase. It's going to.
Yeah,
It's
everyone
inherently
wants an economic boom. Who
inflation, dude.
cares if Trump looks
Yeah, but
good?
it's not at the expense of increasing inflation. I don't even think anybody disagrees that that would increase inflation.
Inflation was at sky
If
high
you
during
if
Biden,
you if
and
you
also
the
interest rates
job
were
of
almost
the
10% under Biden. They were sometimes over 10%,
hold on.
and inflation was over 10% at the same time. And not inflation, interest
Wait,
rates were over
when inflation
10%.
at the end of Biden's administration was like 4.1% or less.
No, that's
I think you can
bullshit
look it
numbers.
up. Look it
They
up,
said
dude.
one
I
year
think
that
it's not
inflation was 10 or
10%.
12%.
Dude,
That's when I
no,
knew
I
the
wouldn't even
numbers were
say that
bullshit.
Trump was at 10%, bro. That's like the 12 million illegal border crossing. By the way, I'm sorry, man. I hate to be abrupt, but I'm about to be in my house and I gotta put my daughter to bed, so I apologize. I don't like to be abrupt. I always like to be
It's okay.
courteous, and I
Final
don't think
question.
I'm.
Final question.
Yeah,
Not
go
even
ahead.
politically related. I know Graham
Yeah,
saw
go ahead.
some Simpson predictions. What are your thoughts on the Simpsons predictions?
I don't know, dude. It's in the Simpsons predictions are interesting because I saw and I saw, do I have a job? Yes, I make more in a year than you're gonna make in the next 10 years. Um, so they just did a prediction about about the CEO at the Coldplay concert. I'm sorry, that was mean. That was a mean comment. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Um, I feel bad. That was like out of nowhere. I don't like it when people. Do you have a job? What do you do for a
They
living?
all just ask
Okay,
this
I'm
question. Just
sorry.
answer the
No,
Simpsons question.
that was
Just
rude. No,
answer
no,
the
no. I
Simpsons
was rude.
question.
I was rude to Nina though. Nina, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've had a long day. I'm sorry. Yeah, that was super. That was super rude. I'm sorry. Can I just say this real quick? I need to stop for a second because that was super rude. I've had a long day. I had a really shitty trial the other day, so I'm grumpy and I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, no, I mean it's weird. The guy, the CEO that was clearly cheating on his wife, like they did that. I know you weren't. I was being a dick. I'm admitting. I'm having contrition. I know you were. I know. So yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's weird. It's really weird, dude. This to them, and I don't have an
Do you
answer
think
for
they're
it.
time travelers?
Hold on, JD was speaking all over the place, and he literally has his microphone cutting out and starting. Dude, I'm on a fucking cell phone in the sticks.
Bro,
What do
it's
you want me to
okay. You
do,
don't gotta
bro?
respond to all
Like,
the trolls. This is the troll capital.
no. Yeah, 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 man. I'm like, I know it's the troll capital, but like,
I still
the
want the
thing
Trump
about trolls.
guy to
Let me say this.
respond. If you want me to respond, you can drop 99 cents. It's not a fortune. It's literally pennies. If you want me to respond to something, you can drop a few fucking pennies. If not, it's not that important. Not this guy again. Fuck out of here.
Listen, man, if you're, yeah, all I can say is a lot of you need to like tomorrow, it's the summer, right? Like you're not in school, you're not in I don't know, it's a summer, right? So maybe it's the weekend, get out of your house, go to the local farmers market, strike up a conversation. It's the foliage is starting to get beautiful, I think, depending on where you are, and just talk to people, man. And then if you go to a conversation like this, it's not going to piss you off because you're like, these guys are just talking. I don't think
But
we've
these
agreed
people
on
never
everything.
have real life conversations. They don't know how to talk outside the internet. It's sad.
I don't think so.
They don't know
No,
how to
Nina,
talk to
I'm not
people at
saying
a
you are.
bar. They don't know how to talk to a woman at a bar, much less talk to another man at a bar or out in public.
I like to talk to my dogs.
I like to talk to anybody, really. I like talking to different people from all over.
I'm low-key weird as fuck.
You probably aren't old enough to vote. It's okay. You don't gotta criticize us. Okay, here's a great. I've already answered this question from him, but have you seen the new Superman movie or have you seen the commercials? I already have an answer for this. You can tell me your answer, I'll tell you mine.
I have
Last
not seen
question. Why is
Superman. I saw
Superman.
Fantastic Four. What's up?
You know why the new Superman is woke? Or why is, in general, woke considered woke?
Um, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't even think about these things when I watch movies. You know what was woke was Star Wars. Okay, we can agree on that. Star Wars was the new one was super woke. I will say that because it was gratuitous.
I didn't see the new Star Wars and I didn't see the new Superman, but from what I've heard from people, the new Superman is woke because you know how Superman is like an alien or whatever. And the new Superman, apparently they try to act like he's an illegal immigrant, basically. That,
Yeah,
that's how they
yeah.
portray him as. He's not
You
an
know what
illegal
though,
immigrant.
man?
He's an alien, but
Let me
from the
let
Earth.
me let me let me say this real quick before I go, okay? And this is coming from a place of love, okay? So you know how like there's some feminists who just like watch things and they can't just watch them, they just like watch them for the messages. Don't be like that on the other side. You know what I mean? Like I didn't see it, so I can't say,
I didn't
but
see it either, but I'm just telling you what other commenters
no,
have
I
told me.
know they do, but you know what I mean? How there's just people in general who like watch things just for like the analysis, like look for, I don't know, man. Like, I guess like in terms of superheroes, I'm super pilled on them right now because um, the new Fantastic Four was like objectively good. People said it was weird because they had Julia Garner as the Silver Surfer, but that's only because people are stupid and they don't understand that Julia Garner was playing the Silver Surfer's wife. So it was canon to the comics. You idiot. You idiots.
Still sounds weird, but it
Um,
might be canon, but it's not canon that Superman is an illegal immigrant. That's definitely not
well,
canon.
I don't watch DC. I refuse to watch DC. I don't like DC. I think DC's stupid. I like Marvel. Um, guys, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm all over the place. I know you don't like him, but I'm acting a lot more weird than he is.
I think I'm the weird one, but that's a funny comment from you.
No, seriously, man. I have clear
Someone will
ADHD.
literally drop a super shot, and then 2 seconds later they will say, "Well, who cares about Superman?" I don't know. The man that's actually dropping super chats to ask questions about it because he's interested in what we think about it. I don't know. Maybe you can
What?
tell us when you got 99 cents for a super chat.
They don't have money, man. They don't.
I know. I know they don't. If you guys don't have money for a super chat, it's okay. You can still support the channel. Double tap the screen, subscribe. It's free.
All I gotta say, guys, is if you guys wanna debate this dude, he'll probably welcome me on to debate. No, I'm not. Okay, hold on, Nina. I'm not saying I'm self-deprecating. It's probably obvious. I try to be introspective. No, but genuine ADHD, so that's why I'm all over the place. I don't doubt it. I'm sorry. And again, I feel bad. I feel bad. I feel bad because I can be a real dickhead. All right, let me say one thing to you guys about the Epstein files before I go. Okay, and this is a horrible way to end. Okay, I'm going to tell all the liberals, all the Democrats, and all the Trump
If you have any
supporters what
questions,
happened.
by the way,
This is,
before he ends, drop a super chat question. This guy's a lawyer, so he will answer all your super chat questions. But continue. I won't interrupt anymore.
I want somebody to disagree with this likely conclusion. At the very least, I'm going to be the most safe in saying this. It's very clear that everyone through 2005, the Obama administration, the Bush, it was in 2005, 2007, a lot of stuff with Epstein. Many administrations, end of Bush, Obama, Biden, Trump, have all had access to the Epstein files. They've all had them. The reason that people haven't, the reason the Democrats didn't release it is not because necessarily there's nothing on Trump. It's because the Democratic or administrations are corrupt as well, and there are Democrats on there they're trying to protect. That's what's happening. Trump might not be on the list, but they're definitely doing a calculation because they know that there's allies that are going to be heard on their side. The last thing I'll say to all of you guys is watch the Cardinal Dolan, the dinner they do before the election, whatever. Watch Trump and Chuck Schumer interact at that dinner. That'll tell you more about all of this than you could ever read in a book. That's the last thing I'll say.
All right. Awesome. I'll check it out. Someone says they agree. This is a Trump supporter.
Who's a Trump supporter?
Tracy.
Oh.
I agree. All
I'm not a Trump supporter. And the other thing I'll say to you guys, and I'll say this I'm sorry, I'm going off, but it's my belief that Donald Trump, and I can give examples if I have more time, but I'm just gonna say my holdings. I really do think he thinks very low of you guys. So I'm gonna say that, but then I'm gonna go to the Democrats. They also think really low of you guys because they're doing the same thing with this stuff. So they also think you're stupid. I, on the other hand, think really, whether you're left or right here, I love all of you guys and care about you guys. And I want you all, because I really haven't heard Democrats really touch the pink elephant in the room, which is why didn't the Biden administration, why didn't they do anything with the files? Because they should have. I haven't heard that criticism. Believe me, I'm not just trying to be. I do have good drugs. It's called citalopram. It keeps me in line. No, I mean, is anything I'm saying cap right now, guys? Is anything I'm saying cap right now?
I saw one great question though in the comments. Actually, I wanted to ask you one final question. Just let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. No, I'm ready.
What do you think of Trump's felonies?
Oh, Jesus. I think here's what I think. It's such a long, which one are you talking about? Let's focus on one.
The 34 felony counts from New York.
No, focus on one. Focus on Georgia and New York. That's the one I focus. So in terms of let's focus. The James lawsuit with the fraud, the Mar-a-Lago, the cost of it, etc.
Those are the Georgia.
That one's
charges,
fairly
right?
straightforward. No. The Georgia charges are find me votes. That's the Georgia charges. So, God damn it! It's almost so it's impossible to have a truncated answer to this. I think I'm going to give a political answer right now. I think that a lot of the charges are justified, but I also think that I don't think that I think there are a lot of people that inflate assets and deflate them to get either tax benefits or,
But what about the
to
banks
inflate.
defending him?
So no, let me get to this. I also think that the crimes that Trump committed, he got the New York charges, like with the fraud. So you're talking about, are you talking about that's who you're talking about, right? With New York?
Yeah.
He does not have felonies. No.
There are felonies, though, aren't they?
He did get sued. He owes money. Yeah, some of them. Yeah. I think the New York one was. Yeah. No, I mean, look, it's like people are completely unwilling
They
to.
changed New York
Definitely on the
law.
mag side, but
Someone said New York law disagrees. They changed New York law.
what? I'm not a New York lawyer. What I know is common law fraud, and what I know is when you give differing answers about how much your property is worth based on if you're trying to sell a property or get a loan for a property, and if you're and when you're worried about getting taxed. What I know is that that's fraud, guys. It's not deny that. The way that I will have you guys' back is to say
But
that
they said the
fraud, which
property
is
was
very
only
much.
worth $20 million, according to the courts. But the
He
property
said
next
that.
door.
He said that. He said it was worth 18 million. He said that. But you
Well, either
agree it
way,
was
it's worth a lot
no,
more.
Tracy, it's not bullshit. Yeah, it probably is, but he said that so that he would get a lesser tax burden. So my point is, like, you got to bite the bullet on that. That's my point. It's not that, like, you can say the reasonable, guys, the reasonable position is a order, if you really want to have integrity with this, is yes, it was clearly fraud, but it's the fraud that lots of people commit and that gets, and in polite circles gets congratulated, so it, or at least excused, and other people get away with it. That's the 180 IQ. No, the bank said no. He said that. Patriot, he said that. I can get the quote. I'll put it into. I mean, not the quote, but I can show you that he hired an appraiser, and through that they came up with that number. It's just the fact. That
They're having better arguments than me. So it's like, I'll just let you read the comments.
First of all, I am reading the comments, but you 100 when you are getting a loan, it's not like when you get a house and you get and they do a
But it's a victimless crime at the end of the day. The bank said they weren't a victim, and
the what? Yeah, I get it, but it's still, well, I don't care what the bank said. It's still like, if a bank is loaning more money to you than they ordinarily would. Like, you guys are not, let's be clear. I'm going to be clear to you guys. You guys are not able to do this. Like, and this isn't like when you get a mortgage and then there's an appraisal analysis to make sure it's worth. That's not how it works. I'm talking as somebody who writes bridge loans, guys. Like, it's not how it works the way you're thinking. He said that it was worth 120 million at a different time, Tracy. There's times when you want properties to be worth money when you're getting loans, but at a different time, Trump disclosed that it was worth 18, not million, billion is what you're trying to say, or is it million? Yeah. So
30 years ago.
Yeah, like there's this, guys, this stuff is it's just on the record. It's clear. And I'm not even like, and let me say, and I gotta go because my wife is yelling at me, but yeah, I understand you did, Tracy, but that's not in some of this, but I will percent agree with you guys. And I don't think there's a way to deny this, that yes, 100% Alvin Bragg, Letitia James campaigned on going after Trump. They did that. That's not deniable. So two things can be true at once. Is that a fair way to agree to disagree? Can I get an amen in the chat? Can we agree to disagree? Can I get some hearts from all the leftists and all the MAGA? Few hearts. It is very common. It is very common. You know, like you gotta give credit to the Trump supporters though. To this, like, there's no way to argue that a non-Trump would have been gone after. There's not. Doesn't mean he didn't break the law. He did, but it's because lots of people break the law. I work with people who break the law. I work with people who break the law. I work with very rich people who do very shady things. People do this stuff all the time. He's 100%.
But it's true. Of nearly all commercial construction, it's unfortunately very common.
It is. There's a lot of fraud, man, that happens. Like, it doesn't mean it's like I think Trump is a scumbag. I think he was beforehand. He had horrible. Him and his dad had horrible housing practices. But you know what, guys? I'm not trying to do whataboutism, but a lot of your favorite motherfuckers are also scumbags. Hillary Clinton is a fucking scumbag, man. Like, the things they say about her foundation are true. I'm sorry. It's all it is.
But I love Hillary, man, and I love Obama.
Hillary she was good at killing people. All right, I gotta go. I'm getting yelled at by my wife. All right, take it easy, guys.
Have a good night, man. Bye-bye.
Thank you for people that weren't hating on me.
Thank you for joining,
I appreciate
Chris.
it. And
that was
Grant.
an interesting stream.
Yeah. All right.
Adios.
Talk
to you later. Peace. Thanks, man. Later.
Fuck. How do I get out of this?
Click the X button. But next time we got to ask you about Letitia James. We got to ask him about Letitia James next time. We'll save that for part 2. Part 2, Letitia James. You may not leave. Yeah, guys, if you want to ask him more questions, hit that like, subscribe button. He's a cool dude. I'll have him back on again. He's a lawyer. No, man, he owns his own practice. I don't think he can get that much in trouble. He owns his own law practice. He's an eviction lawyer, or whatever you call those people that evict people. Property management lawyer. But if you guys have any more questions, comments, or anything you want me to ask him in future shows or episodes, drop a super chat. Yeah, he's a cool guy. That's awesome, Patriot Dad. He's a good guy. But yeah, guys, that was a 10,000 subscribers special. That was one of the specials. Yes, I am on TikTok. Euro.and.travel. Euro.and.travel on TikTok. Once again, Euro.and.travel. Follow me on TikTok. That's it for tonight, guys. That was the 10,000 subscribers special. We're going to do more specials. We're going to do a call-in episode probably tomorrow. But that was the 10,000 subscriber special. So please hit that like, subscribe button. Have a great night, everyone. I'm going to rest now. Peace out. Good night.